People want to know what happened in Las Vegas. You know, people want to know, oh, hey, how was the bachelor party? And I have no response. I have no response. Vegas is Vegas, bro. Like, this shit is a literal drug in your veins. As soon as you land, you're seeing shit. You're seeing shit, and it's turning on this animal inside of you. You know, you walk off the plane, you're slowly making your way off. You're saying, damn, you know, like, my bones are a little tight. Like, man, I'm really not used to just sitting in a spot for 3 hours at a time, not using the bathroom, just bent over, looking at a screen. And then you start seeing these flashing lights and spinning wheels on these machines. You see the pretzel shop, you see the Panda Express, and you say, oh shit, here we go. Here we go. It's happening. You're kind of fighting it. You know, you're kind of fighting this demon that's coming out. And you're saying, hey, you know what? Like, remember who you are 90% of the time. Remember who you are 95% of the time. You are a child of God. But then you get in the Uber and you start seeing all these people and you start saying, like, damn, what do all these people do here in Vegas? Are all of these people doing what I'm doing? I'm going to go do this bottle service. I'm going to go to this club and gamble here and do this. And I'm not going to a single show. But all these people, what are they doing? What are they doing in Vegas? Why are they here? You get in the Uber, you're heading down, you start heading towards the Strip. And you see all the hotels, the tall hotel. You start seeing the big names, the Hard Rock, the Aria, the Wynn, Fontainebleau, Cosmopolitan. You start seeing MGM. You see all these names and you say, oh shit, it's happening. At this point, the beast is 50% out of you. Next thing you know, you're at a bottle service. The music's turned up. You're in a section. You say, oh shit, I'm at 70%. The devil has almost taken over my body. You're gambling, you're doubling on sixes, you're tripling on nines, you're splitting, you're doubling, you're making more money you've ever seen before in your life. You make $50 to $100 an hour back at home, but here you're making it by the minute. And that beast is out of you now. And then you get back on the plane to come home and you say, wow, can't let that guy out. That guy is just that guy. Well, you know, like what do I expect out of this guy? You see the boys, you're hanging out. Jokes are funny. We're going to talk about the Kevin Hart roast, but that's like every single time you hang out with your boys. Some shit happened. Literal shit happened. But we can't talk about it. It's Vegas. You can't talk about it. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how Vegas went. Yeah, it was a good time. I will say, bachelor partying in your 30s, you start seeing a bit of a difference. You know, you start seeing a bit of like, oh shit, bro. Like one activity a day for me. You know, like I would love to go eat, but you know what? If we have an activity at 10 p.m., I need to be home by like 6 to 8 p.m. You know, like just to get my mind right. Just to program myself back in that mode where it's like, hey, all right, here we go. We're about to go out. We're going to go do this. And it's fun to see, the progression of bachelor parties. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ajay Patel Show. My name is Ajay Patel. Sorry I missed last week. Call it the hangover week, being back from Vegas. We haven't talked in a while. But finishing off the Vegas topic, it's being in your 30s, it's fun to see the shift. It's fun to see the shift as these bachelor parties have progressed. I think the first one I went to, maybe I was 24 and I went to my brother-in-law's. And then you see this progression of, you can't really drink like that. You do it the blah, 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 blah. And then you're at 30 and you're saying, man, one activity a day for me. And I'm starting to feel that way about weddings too. Like the topic of like dances and stuff like that come up, and it feels weird. It feels weird where I'm still doing this, we're doing our same groomsmen dance for the umpteenth time, just like up here like monkeys, And after my reception, and we try to put on this big dance and everyone busted their ass to try to do all this. And then as soon as that dance finishes, you're like, you know what? I didn't really give a fuck about that dance. Like, why did we try so hard? We should have just kept it simple, bro. Keep it fucking simple. We should have gone out there, done the exact same song. done the exact same song, does a smile, have one person fall. It is what it is. But we need to keep this shit at a minimum. I'm at the programming in my life now. I think this maybe it's more so of a post kid thing where the next time I want to be dancing at a wedding needs to be when I'm in that uncle stage, so I'm dancing for someone like significantly younger than me in the family getting married. When the person that's at least, let's say 15 years younger than me is getting married, that's now when I should be dancing next. I should be in the uncle's dance. I don't want to be in any more friends dances. I think I probably have like two to three more in me. Who knows? But that's how it just feels now at 30. But it's a fun time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again. And main stuff was, like a lot of shit has happened, right? Went to Vegas, the Kevin Hart roast, the Funny AF. Everyone's talking about hantavirus on his ship, the Chris Brown album, the Drake albums, plural. JP Morgan, the bank executive, or maybe was it JP Morgan? I don't want to get the company incorrect here, but the story of this Indian boy being sexually harassed by the attractive white female boss. No one believed it. No one believes that shit. No one believes you. If it was the other way around, we would have believed it. If you're gonna make this script, make it believable. Make the script believable. Imagine those two roles switched, right? You have the pretty young white girl early in her career hoping to make it up the food chain. And then you have this Indian boss that, he's all smiles and stuff on the outside. But then, he at happy hour, he has a drink or two. He gets a little weird. Sometimes he drops the N-word. And this guy, this guy is the devil. This guy is the one that making sexual advances and trying to, make the coworkers his. Hey, you can be under my wing, that creepy Indian uncle. You can believe that. You can believe that story. This shit, bro, like I hope to, and maybe I already am this unattractive. But I never want to be at the point in my life where, people see a picture of me and they're like, nah, he didn't get sexually harassed. You know what I'm saying? Like, how disheartening for someone to see your picture and you just, like, I would hate to see someone swipe. Like, if my picture was on Hinge back in the day, when I was on Hinge and what's the other one, the Indian one, Dill Mill. When I was single and I was doing all that, I would hate to have watched someone go through my profile and as soon as I pop up, they swipe left. They say, ugh. They look down. They're like, analyst, yuck. And they swipe left. That's disheartening. I hope to never see that visually in front of me. A lot of news has happened. The hantavirus shit, man. I'm kind of down. I'm kind of down for another little. Hey, we should all stay in our houses. Like, it's time to put the money back in the pocket. We have a couple weddings coming up, a couple trips, and boy, you start seeing this shit fly out the window. At first, you look at your bank account. We've talked about this, where it's like, hey, where's all this money coming from? Oh, it's literally coming from the fact that I'm not flying here and there, hotels, this and that. And you got to do it. You do have to do this piece, right? Like you should get out. You should explore. You should have a good time. You should not live in your box 24/7. But holy shit, it's expensive, bro. These flights are $500 minimum now. All this shit has happened. I could use another little, hey, we need a social distance. I could use that in my life right now. Bro, would you shoot down the cruise ship? What would you do? Do you what you got to avoid this outbreak? That's kind of crazy. My boy, that's a girl that comes and hangs out with us every Tuesday. Jayshree, some of y'all, a friend of the show, maybe we'll have her on soon. She was talking about how in med school, hantavirus is the virus that, you should be the most afraid of. COVID, good old COVID. No one really cares too much about that because you look at the death rate. Maybe you look at the causes and stuff that happened and people that can get over it versus, the certain sectors of the niches of people that could probably be at most risk. Hantavirus. Oh shit, we have a hantavirus breakout. You should nuke the country. That's what she said to me. That's what she said to me unofficially. I don't know, man. I could use another little stay in the house thing. These last couple of weeks have been solid, honestly. Onto the music, which I've just been kind of hanging out with, is Chris Brown's album. Solid, bro. I think it was good. At first, yes, I will admit. I went through it and I was like, man, I don't really care much for this. Like, I was excited, for this album, and then you listen to it and it's like, what? Like, well, I'm not out there moving like that. I'm not out there laying pipe down like that. I'm not out there like that, bro. You singing these songs like I'm just out there and oh my gosh, my love, this breakup, this and that. I don't think I need this. I need the Afro beats. I need the dude that's dancing on music videos. I like a good sad song or two. Don't get me wrong. I like his range. I'm a Chris Breezy fan through and through. But I didn't like the album at first. And then I kept listening. And I kept telling myself, oh, obviously, this is just a first listen. You got to get through it. You got to, maybe the next time you'll enjoy another couple tracks. And sure enough, I did. And I'm still growing with it. The issue is you have a week. As I'm recording this, it is May 17th. Drake drops on the 15th. You knew this. And maybe you didn't, right? The release date was kind of just like a month before, so it's kind of hard to spin out a project like that. But it's tough because I wanted to like this album. I wanted to like the, Breezy album a little bit more. But if Drake comes out 7 days after you, brother, you're going to get played out very fast. I like you, but I like Drake. And so 7 days later, sure enough, you have this big reveal. It's not only ICEMAN, it's going to be 3 albums. And so then you go through those one at a time and you keep telling yourself, this is Drake. I have to like it. I'm going to like it. It's my boy. Every time I watch LeBron James, I say, my king, save us, please. Be great. You do the same thing for Drake. That's your boy. You've held it down. He's held it down. He gave you music all throughout high school basketball, through college, post-college. You're in your 30s now. This is still your guy. The music's a little iffy. And then you start seeing, oh shit, actually, you know what? I kind of like this. Okay, maybe I don't like this album and I'm liking this bit more. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna listen to this again. Okay, maybe I look up the lyrics. All right, you know what? Maybe I need a drink first. Maybe I shouldn't be at the, you start enjoying it more. I personally have been a fan of all 3. ICEMAN, I do think might even crack a top 5. With time, of course, I'm not saying 2 days after the album comes out, it's an instant classic. But this album's good, bro. A classic Drizzy intro. Yeah, then you get into your rollout of, oh shit, these people did me wrong. I'm fighting back. This is me. I'm the greatest. That's the album. Make them cry, make them pay, make them remember. What is this? It's a good time. That's what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm okay. I would be okay in life if I never heard another Sexy Red feature. I get it. She's dope. She might make a certain, a certain bop, a certain beat, a certain sound. I'm good. She was on the Chris Brown album. Now she's on Drake's album. Is she really this big? Is she really this popular? I see her on the Drewski YouTube channel and stuff like that. Look how boomer I sound. The YouTube channels. I'm okay. I don't understand how this happens in the music industry. I don't know if it's like a play where it's like, oh, we actually linked up and we just had this chemistry, this and that. But it's like, is this just you also just trying to bridge an age gap? Are you just also trying to stay a little bit in the kids, not the kids, you know what I mean? Like the people that are just the younger generation to me. Are you trying to also stay in their ear by featuring some of these younger people? I understand you used to do that with Lil Baby, all these, that whole era of music. And so you stay relevant. Are you still doing that with Sexy Red? But why? Is there not anyone else? Is there not anyone? I'm just not a fan. I think she seems like a great lady. Anyways, hantavirus, Chris Brown. I did I was gonna joke about the New York billionaire stuff, but honestly, that I feel like that news has passed and no one really cares. But I'm just gonna say it anyways. Actually, do y'all really think he bailed out New York for like $8 billion? Like if you're the governor, look, people posting this on their stories, the only part that kills me. Where it's like, oh, look at what he already did. He cut $8 billion in the deficit. He paid the whole thing without cutting a single job. Like, do you actually believe that, bro? I read that shit and I was like, there's no way. There's no way. It has nothing to do with who he is. He could have been a white guy, black guy, Indian guy, girl. It doesn't matter. Nationality, sexuality. Anyone that went up there and said, oh yeah, I just solved the $8 billion deficit for this city. Bullshit, bro. Bullshit. The same thing I talked about in the last, I don't know if it was last week or week before, where I worked at some of these companies where you see the numbers and you say, oh my gosh, this ship is sinking. This ship is sinking. And in the front, in the front, that the thing that people are seeing on LinkedIn and stuff like that is we have hope. We have hope. We're going to turn this ship. And in reality, because you work in the weeds, this thing is going down. There's just certain shit you can't believe, right? If people tell you, I just fixed 8 billion like that, there's no way I just lost memory. Hold up. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry. I ran out of space on the memory card, but I think we're good now. We're on the iPhone. We're off the camera. What I was talking about was the Mamdani thing. And it's just, like, how do you believe it, bro? I'm not saying he didn't cure the deficit, right? I'm sure that there was a bailout, that, this and that happened, whatever it was. But it's just like the way that the story comes off when people post it is like, oh, he walked in, he saw a math equation and he solved it. Just like that in a day. No one else was able to do this. He solved it. It's like, I get it. If you're supposed to have your team that does all this stuff, they figure out this and that. You're the leader at the end of the day. I don't expect you to be looking at bailout packages and tax codes and stuff like that. You put the team together and you do that, which is cool. I would believe it if they said, hey, we did this and that. And then, we ended up curing X amount of dollars off the deficit. Cool. I would believe that. But this shit here where it's just like, yeah, he's taxing the billionaires. No, he's not. Not yet. That money doesn't come in yet. Yes, I believe that's the plan, but what story are you telling right now, bro? And just tell the truth. I understand. How crazy am I to ask the news to tell the truth? But that's the shit that just be kind of annoying me. Like, people be posting on their story knowing that shit ain't true. You know what I'm saying? I've just been in this grumpy hangover week, eh? But I'm back. I'm chilling. Life ain't doing me, You got to try to do life sometimes. You got to try to do life. I have been watching a lot of TV. I'm not going to talk about like a bunch of all the shit I've been watching. The Boys, Daredevil, Born Again, Euphoria, Friends and Neighbors. I'm not going to talk about all those. But I have been watching I did watch the Kevin Hart roast, and I'm a big fan of the roast. I do enjoy the roast every time it comes around. I'm not gonna lie. I watched the Charlie Sheen one, the Tom Brady one, the what's his name, the Donald Trump one. I watched the ones during the All-Star break. I'm a fan of the roast. I never watched the Nick Jonas one. I didn't really care for that. There's nothing in my body that wants me to see Priyanka Chopra tell jokes. Like, I'm good. I like her as an actress. I would love to see her movies. She's great. I don't want to see her tell jokes. And it kind of felt like that for this Kevin Hart one. I was a fan overall. I was a fan. It was funny, like, you're going to have a couple misses, this and that. But it just felt like the production value. This is supposed to be this big Netflix show, and you have this awesome stage. You have all these people having dinner like it's the Grammys. And then you got this stage set where it's like, what happened to like the throne that people sit on? Like, you're trying to be too normal, being like sitting with the other people. You don't even have a blazer on and you just chilling like this. I get it. It's your event. But why aren't you in like a special seat? Like, you have this vision where it's like, why didn't they do it like that? They've done it like that in the past and it's looked nice. It's probably gotten good reviews. But what is the point of this shit? Seems basic. Shane Gillis is walking across people as they're sitting back to their seat. Who thinks of the flow of this shit? And you think about this shit when you're corporate America. This shit does kind of train you to do this shit where you're just thinking about like, why did they set this up like that? Why are Kevin Hart's friends sitting on the stage? Why is Tiffany Haddish on stage if she ain't telling no jokes and no one's making fun of her? Why is she getting camera time? I don't get it. Camera time should go to the people on the stage, which they call the dais. Obviously, the person that's getting roasted, whoever's speaking, and then random camera shots of the crowd. Right? You get the wife, you get the kids, you get the John Stamos in the corner. Like you get all those shots. But what am I watching, bro? The people's entrances, don't get me shit wrong. That shit was pretty dope. The Usher entrance, The Rock. Obviously, Cat Williams killing it. It was a good time. I enjoy the roast. The whole like, oh, these people are being racist and shit. Don't get me wrong. I do think sometimes people be pushing it. Like I be getting like, ooh, like that joke was a little like, whoa. But all the basic stuff, like, I'm not gonna say the word, but you know what I'm saying, like the black jokes, the white jokes, the poor jokes, the hoe jokes. Those all don't offend me that much. It does get a little bit annoying when they keep on like, oh, Chelsea Handler, you're a hoe. Chelsea Handler, you're a hoe. Chelsea Handler. Like that joke is, you know, that shit kind of gets beaten to the ground at a certain extent. So that shit doesn't, like, that shit's just annoying. And then there's like the jokes where it's like, oh, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Don't get me wrong. This is a long ass thing, a 3-hour thing. How do you even watch that all in one sitting? That's weird to do, honestly. Like, how do you even enjoy that from an audience perspective? You eating there and then they just doing this for 3 hours. 3 hours, bro. The most amount of time you should spend with comedy as a scene is 2 hours. 2 hours and it's time to go home. 2 hours, bro. There's no reason you should be sitting there for 3 hours. Like even movies nowadays, bro. If it's more than like 2.5, this is a 2-sitting thing. I cannot just carve this out for this right now. That's too much. 2 hours. 2 hours. I once went to a 3-hour comedy show. That shit just got weird towards the end where you're just like, I'm ready to go home. I don't want to keep listening to people. Like, I don't want people just talking at me for 3 hours. That's crazy. I haven't even said a word in the last 3 hours, bro. That's kind of crazy. Shit. Oh, funny AF. Funny AF. I'm not going to watch it, y'all. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to watch it. Like, I just have this. I'm just a hater at a certain point of the day. I'm not saying I hate the guy or anything like that, but I just want to be, how do I make this as clear as possible? It's like, I ain't got no beef with anybody. I have no issues. I have no problems with people like that. But I'm not watching another brown comedian kill it like that. I'm not going to watch it. If I come across it, cool. I'll watch the clip here and there. But I'm not watching this show. Especially where it's like, you know the dude. Right? Like you've met the dude. Cool dude. But I ain't watching this, bro. I might be a hater. I'm talking about Usama Siddiqui. Dope dude, honestly. I liked him. I think what he's doing is dope. You know, like grinding in the comedy gang. He's done a lot of things. It's been dope, I will say. But I'm not gonna watch Funny AF, bro. Because don't get me wrong, I would love to be doing that. You know, I would love to be in like man, I really wish I took the shot that you shot. I really wish I was kind of doing this grind like you, but I don't want to kind of jump off this corporate, you know, money wagon right now. I don't know. And then I don't know if later in life I can take that kind of risk. So now I'm just in the blender, as we call it, right? You're just back and forth. Should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? You know, it's just like, and so everyone's talking about this show. I've been seeing on everyone's stories, and I'm just like, bro, I can't do it, bro. There's just something in me that I just can't do it, bro. I can't. I get it. You should support your brothers. I can't, bro. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. There's just something in me that I'm like, it just be killing me inside a little bit, you know? It could even be funny, and I'll smile, you know, I'll chuckle, but I ain't sharing it with anybody. I'm not telling anyone in conversation, yo, I saw this dude that was really funny. I'm here to be the funny. And, you know, I love that people might be a little confused or just like, what the hell is going on at this point? But, like, that's just how I feel, bro. I'm not watching that show. I can't do it, man. But I will say a huge congratulations. If he ends up coming across this somehow, which I don't think he will, but a huge congratulations to him. Because getting second place in that shit, bro, that's dope. That's some dope shit. I might be a hater, but I appreciate it when I like, I see like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. That's like, I'm, there'll be times that I don't support, but I see it and I'm like, that's pretty good. You have to appreciate it, or else then you're just blind, right? Then you're just blind. If you're just like, oh, you know what? I think I'm the greatest chef in the world and anything else I taste is horrible. And then you start trying dishes and you just hate them, right? You go in hating them. I hate this. Or you go in hating it and they might taste good, but you still put on this face that you hate it. You got to appreciate it. You still have to appreciate it. You still have to see this shit and be like, you know what? Yeah, I might have confidence in my game, but I see this game right here and wow, salute, applause, flowers. Good job. I personally, I think that I am like that. So that's why I think the confidence kind of off balances, where it's like, I'm not just out here being some cocky prick. I believe in this skill of mine, and that's how I hope to push out. But when I see someone else's that might be different or better in some way, that I'm like, dang, I like how they're doing that. I like how they're moving with that crowd work. I like how they do that. Maybe it's like, I like how they cut an onion better than me. But you know what I do? I steal that shit. I steal that shit too. Why not? You take it, you craft it a little bit, make sure people don't see that it was stolen. You add it to your arsenal, you fix up your bit a little, and then you present it, and people laugh, and you say, all right, this works. I didn't fully steal this shit, but I saw what he was doing and how it would make them react. You see this a lot with like certain people's bits. Right? Certain people's bits, pause, but you know what I'm saying? Certain people's bits, like Shane Gillis, right? He I think he has funny material, funny dude, funny demeanor. He's a fun character overall. But you know his bit, he's always going to do the pause between. Yeah. Oh, I thought that was funny. And like these bits that are going to happen. And it works. So you say, all right, you know what? I'm going to steal that shit. I'm not going to do it every single joke, but I'll use it once in the evening where I'll do that. And then people laugh, and then it's like, all right, you know what? I did that magic trick, but I can't do it too much or people will think I'm stealing it. And so that's why I think you still got to appreciate people's brilliance, people's efforts, people's hard work. You got to salute it. I'm not being sarcastic at all. I'm a hater, but I appreciate the game. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you guys listening. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you guys all next week. Don't forget to share it with a friend. And I appreciate you guys. And goodbye.